Hey friends, it is just
Hi.
a little midweek greeting from the Cove. It's Dan and Anne
Hey.
Baumgartner, and we are actually at home, and we're in one half of our little garage, which we have converted into Anne's art studio. If you hear any background noise as we go, it's been raining off and the roof is like right above the camera, so that's what that is. And if you see me looking over here like this, that's because I've stashed the cue card over there.
We don't have any agenda today. We just want to say hi. We miss you. We want to connect a little bit.
This is one crazy time we are living in, isn't it? I know everybody's talking about it. It's on the news and emails and everything else, but boy, many times a day I just go, it is such a different time. Somebody was teasing me the other day and said, Dan, since you've moved to Santa Rosa, we've been through the fire, now we're in a pandemic, what's the deal? As though I had sort of caused those or brought those things. And I said, you need to flip that coin over and look at the other side. What would have happened if Dan and Ann hadn't moved to Santa Rosa? It could have been way worse, way worse. So, like you, we're kind of stuck at home a lot. In Hebrews chapter 10, it encourages us not to give up meeting together, but to encourage one another. And we're having to find novel ways to do that. And really, this little video is just a word of encouragement. So, we've been stuck at home.
Yep.
What have we been doing?
Well, this is like Dan said, my studio. I had a lot of work canceled this season, so I am doing some painting work and mixing paints today, and it's just good to be able to work here. So I'm thankful for that.
Do you want to show them the palette?
This is a color palette.
And I have been working, of course, on a worship video for Sundays with Russell and Crystal, and on a lot of Zoom conferences, our Bible studies meeting on Zoom, our home group, some conference calls, some texts, some FaceTiming, all of those kinds of things going on. But apart from your work and my work, how about just like at home?
Well, we have some Zoom conferences and some phone calls with our family because everyone's all over the country. So that's very comforting to get to see faces and hear voices because we really miss them right now, as I'm sure you all have that too. We're playing some games. We played Scrabble the other night.
Who won?
I lost, but it was a really close game. It was a great game.
It was.
And yeah, Dan's really good at those triple word corner things.
And only lost. Now you might want to write this down. She only lost because I spelled the word visor, like on a hat, with a Z, and that was big time, big time. We've been watching some movies. We've been doing a lot of reading,
Yep.
How about just story from real life, regular life, like neighborhood or
Well, we have a great neighborhood. We've already gotten to know some people. We have a few seniors in the neighborhood. I made some cookies and brought them over, and we had a long distance 10-foot chat from the porch to the sidewalk the other night. We have a family next door. I've been able to supply some art lessons for them. They're homeschooling, and you know how it goes.
Yeah. So I had a fun thing happen just today, kind of real life picture. Not just like an hour or so ago, I was over at the bank, and I had to actually talk to a banker and sit down at his desk for a while, and he was off making some copies, and I looked through the window right there into the little strip mall parking lot, and there was an older man who looked like maybe he was homeless and was probably asking people for money. There was a little market there, and I think it was lunchtime, and he was looking for some help. Wasn't getting any, and just then a young sort of macho guy kind of roared into a parking spot in this bright yellow Dodge Charger, and I just thought to myself, oh, this probably isn't going to go so well, and the homeless man went and knocked on his window, and I sort of cringed, and the window came down, and I couldn't of course hear what they said. But the next thing that happened is the young guy who was driving handed a $5 bill out the window. And the older guy ambled off to the market to get some lunch, and I'm the one who's always saying, hey, watch for God in real life, and it just seemed like that moment of sort of spontaneous generosity just said a lot. I think God's a generous God, and we're supposed to be generous people, and especially in this time, generosity goes a long way. So I think the only other things we wanted to communicate are just a couple of reminders about things at the Cove. So since you're getting this email that you got this video from, you're also getting the one about 10:15 on Sunday morning that says, here's the link for worship at 10:30, our normal time. And there's a video that Russell, Crystal, me are putting together, and we'll be adding people as we go and trying some new things and just trying to have some fun with that as a way to be together and encourage one another. So don't forget about that. You may have been called by an elder or a deacon or another leader in our church because 22 folks have split up our whole community, anybody kind of connected with the Cove, and they're just trying to call like roughly once a week. Just no agenda, just to check in, just to say hi. But also, if there are any needs, we have people that have volunteered, that have gotten a hold of me and said, hey, I could pick up groceries, or I could drive somewhere, whatever it is. So if you have needs, don't be afraid to express those. You can call me, but you can talk to one of them when they call as well. And then the last thing, we have actually at the Cove an anniversary that happened this week,
Yes.
the 23rd. It was the 5-year anniversary for Russell Johnston of being on the Cove staff.
Go Russell!
Russell. So we are toasting him, applauding him, and we're just grateful to God that he's with us, and for all the gifts that he shares with us and the ways he points us to Jesus. So that's what we got. Midweek greeting. Hope you're well, staying safe. Anything else?
No. God bless.
Take care.
Bye-bye.